The views and opinions of this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers. There is substantial risk of loss in trading futures and options, which you should carefully consider prior to trading. Well, 1 year ago, FBN introduced their AI advisor, Norm, for farmers and ranchers to utilize on their operations. And what have we learned in 1 year of using AI on the farm? We're going to talk about that and more here today on the program. Joining us for a conversation, Kit Barron with FBN is with us. And Kit, thanks for the time. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well.
I sure am, Jesse. Thanks so much for having me. I was excited to talk about what we're doing with Norm over at FBN.
Well, and this is really cool stuff. And I know I've talked with folks over at FBN, like Charles Barron, for instance, when you guys first launched Norm. And hard to think now, it's been a year since you guys launched this new AI tool for farmers and ranchers. So let's just kind of start there. Let's recap 1 year of Norm. What have you guys learned by using Norm and more here for farmers and ranchers at FBN?
Well, if you all remember, about a year and a half ago, GPT came out with their ChatGPT tool and really took the world by storm. And there were a lot of novelty cases in the early days, and we wanted to really understand what this exciting new technology could do for farmers. And so we were quick to release a version of GPT that we call Norm after Dr. Norman Borlaug, pioneer of wheat breeding technology, and launched, as you said, about a year ago. In those early days, we had trained Norm on a variety of agronomic data, pretty general data to start out with. But over the months, we started seeing the types of questions that farmers were asking really shift. So people were asking a lot about weather during planting, a lot about how to treat certain pests and disease and deal with different types of weed pressure on the field. Folks were asking about planting dates and harvest dates and dry down. And so as we learned from the types of questions farmers were asking, we've been adding new capabilities. So now Norm knows knows the weather in your area, knows the soil moisture content and average soil temperature in your county. Norm can even do recommendations on nitrogen programs. So we're really taking a cue from the farmer users and really trying to invest in the types of questions that they're most interested in getting AI support from.
Well, and it's really interesting how, just this explosion of AI, artificial intelligence, is really making noise throughout our entire world, not just in agriculture, but to your point, farmers, asking different questions like that. Let's think about this in terms of, in 1 year's time, how AI is being used on the farm. Is a lot of it more just question based? Is that what you guys are seeing, or are there other applications of AI on the farm, Kit?
Well, one of the things that we've been really excited to release recently is a real step change in the quality of the answers we're getting from the AI. And for anybody that's ever purchased or mixed or applied crop protection, there's a tremendous amount of information stored in these product labels. These are 70, 80-page documents in some cases that tell you how much product to apply, how to mix it, when to spray it, how to spray it, what it can be mixed with, what it can't be mixed with, et cetera, et cetera. And these documents are really hard to go through. And so we just 2 weeks ago launched an update on Norm that allows farmers to ask structured or any kind of question about product labels. And Norm's doing a fantastic job of providing accurate responses. So that, again, is, to your point, very much question and answer related. Where we see this going is actually having Norm do more of the question asking. So one of the things that the more information Norm has about a farmer's operation, the better the recommendations. And so you can, knowing kind of where the farm is based, what they're growing, perhaps what the rotation is, what time of the year, what the crop status is. What are some of the practices they used? Are they tilling? Are they doing strip till? Are they irrigated? But it's a lot for a farmer to have to put all that information in up front. And so we're working on having an interactive series of questions that Norm will kind of get the information he needs first, and then provide the kind of best possible answer in return. So actually, Norm is going to be doing more of the question asking than before.
Now, thinking about this as you guys look through a lot of the data and more and look to shape Norm and formulate Norm as an AI advisor, what's maybe a few of the most unique things that farmers have asked Norm? Can you maybe share any of those highlights for us here, kid? I'm sure lots of different questions. Has there been anything that stood out as very unique in a year's time?
Well, I get most excited about kind of high quality agronomy questions and answers. When people are asking like, how do we treat glyphosate resistant water hemp, on my cornfield in Eastern Iowa? That's the kind of question when Norm hits that right, I'm very excited. Or give me a step by step instructions for mixing S metallochlor in the sprayer. So those are the ones that I find kind of most interesting from a development perspective. But that said, there's some really novel questions that people are asking. We've had people ask for poems about their farm. You've asked people and asked Norm to tell them a joke. We actually even had somebody ask Norm to help him write his wedding vows.
Wow.
I'm not sure he ever used them, but so it's always interesting to see what people ask. But what we really see is a spike kind of towards the evenings. You can tell people if maybe maybe their agronomist has gone to bed or something, and they got some after hours questions about a product that they're purchasing on the FBN website and want to make sure they're making the right confident decision. They've got the right application rates. They understand tank mixes, things like that, and that's really where Norm is excelling today.
What about the future? Let's think about this now. As
Yeah.
you guys have a year with Norm here being used as an AI advisor, a lot of great questions, some folks having fun using Norm as you alluded to there, Kit. What's the future look like here in terms of using AI on the farm, on the ranch, using an AI advisor such as Norm, things like that? I mean, what does this future really look like? I would have to think it's kind of limitless at this point, is it?
It's really exciting to think about how fast this space is moving, and we're trying to stay on top of all the advances, and we're testing on all the different models. But a couple of the ideas that we've been kind of contemplating that could come down the road are, imagine having opening up Norm to a camera, and is this tar spot? Is this frog eye leaf spot? Is this gray leaf spot? And having Norm not only diagnose what the issue is, and then recommend a solution based on what the camera is seeing in the field. So that's kind of one application that we get excited about, is that combination of the visual AI with the agronomic recommendation engine. Another thing that we've recently been experimenting with and just rolled out to our sales team is SMS Norm. So this doesn't sound like a big deal, but the ability to when you're in your truck, being able to talk on an SMS and have a conversation with your agronomic advisor while you're driving around, or maybe in the cab of your tractor, that's pretty exciting as well. So there's a kind of voice aspect as well. And then finally, right now it's about questions and answers, but you can imagine, and FBN is working with growers to provide agronomic recommendations for almost a decade now. You can imagine having kind of personalized agronomic plans down the road, where the AI is really helping you, based on what your goals are, kind of optimize a full suite, soup to nuts agronomic plan. And so that might be something that we see down the road. Certainly not today, and probably not tomorrow, but a couple of years from now, I think it's not a stretch to see a world where you could have a kind of high quality, personalized, AI powered agronomic recommendation on inputs for your operation.
I think at the end of the day, Kit, it all comes down to, things like AI on the farm, et cetera, having different tools in the toolbox for our farmers and ranchers to make them more efficient on the farm. I think that's one of the big things we're watching here, isn't it?
That's exactly right. I mean, I think a lot about all of the areas of expertise that a farmer or rancher needs to have today to be successful. You've got to be an expert on chemistry and biology and mechanics and grain markets and weather and soil. It is endless, the number of areas of of expertise that farming and ranching touch. And so, our goal here is to have a really useful resource that helps farmers and ranchers do research, make confident decisions, and make sure they're using their time as efficiently as possible, making the best choices for their farm and their family.
Well, Kit, if farmers want to learn more about Norm, they want to test out Norm as an AI advisor or anything else you guys are doing at FBN, I know they can find all of that info online very easily. Where can they get more details?
That's right. FBN.com /Norm. Easy to remember. So just go there and you can test Norm out. It's free to use for FBN members. So create a membership that's free as well. And you're off to the races. And while you're at it, you can check out our best in class farm finance. We've got a Zillow type tool for farmland as well. If you want to evaluate the value of your farm using agronomic intelligence. And then we also have an online store that sells all sorts of crop inputs and animal pharmaceuticals. So Norm is really there to be a guide throughout the FBN experience. So I encourage everybody to check it out. And if you have feedback, please share it. There's a link at the bottom of the Norm page that helps share, what have you liked about it? What would you like it to do? What's not working? Because it is still an experiment. We're still learning a lot. And certainly have to keep that in mind as we're testing out this new technology.
Well, great thoughts, Kit. Before we let you go, anything final you'd want to share or reiterate for folks here as we're thinking about Norm and the use of AI on the farm, et cetera? Anything else final you'd want to add today?
I'd just say, we're in an unprecedented stage of this technology. We've been hearing about AI for decades now, but it really seems to be here. And our mission here at FBN is to help find new ways for making this exciting new tool accessible, easy to use, and reliable on the farm. So really appreciate all the folks who've been testing Norm out and giving us feedback, and encourage your listeners to give it a shot.
FBN.com/Norm for more information. With that, Kit Barron with FBN. Thanks for joining us and talking AI and Norm here today on the program. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me, Jesse.
Make sure to subscribe to the Market Talk YouTube channel. You can watch our latest interviews with top market analysts in the country, find bonus content, and much more. It's easy. Just go to youtube.com/@MarketTalkAg and hit the subscribe button. Or you can search for Market Talk Ag on YouTube.